Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Bobby Gutierrez, and today is Monday, October 25th, 2021. Thank you all for tuning in to our 9th episode of Cowboy Coffee with Coaches, a podcast which was created to promote our student athletes, focusing on high school varsity teams, their coaches, and mentors. Today, I'm joined by fellow host Tiffany Jahorik, owner-operator of Crystal Meadow Farms, our normal studio technician, Rich Klinsman, who is the owner-operator of Step Beyond Media, is out of town and unable to be with us today. Instead, we're joined by the creator of this fabulous studio, Lucas Turner, who is with the Rio Blanco Herald Times. Thanks for being here with us, Lucas. And also congratulations on the birth of your second child. Maybe you could tell us how she is doing, as well as your wife and other sibling or other child.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here. Everything is going well. Everyone is good. There is a lack of sleep in the household, as you might expect. The first one is acting up in ways that he hasn't before, but otherwise it's just joy, happiness, all of those things. So, yeah. But again, happy to be here.
Well, good. Also, you do a podcast. We'll maybe have you tell us a little bit more about that after a bit. I'd also like to welcome into the studio our guest today. We have Coach Meeker softball coach Kendall Borgman and Meeker high school cross country coach Marty Casey. Welcome to both of you. Coach Kendall just qualified her team for the 2021 Colorado State Girls Championship Softball Championships, which were held last weekend in Aurora at Aurora Sports Park. And Coach Casey qualified one runner for the 2021 Colorado State Cross Country Championships, which will be held this weekend in Colorado Springs at Penrose Stadium. And welcome to both of you. I'll have Tiffany interview them in our second segment here. But first, we're going to go to Tiffany, who will update us on the Cowboys' big victory in football, as well as our volleyball teams, where they're at with 1 week left in the regular season. Welcome, Tiffany.
Yep, thanks, Bobby. So both of the teams have officially won their league championships, so congratulations, the Western Slope League champions. They are also both officially done with their league play. This coming week, they have a tournament and or are playing a non-conference team. Volleyball played Vail Mountain in Vail Mountain and Caprock at Caprock this weekend. They only allowed 75-ish points for the whole weekend from both teams while scoring 150, so they did really good. And they are also the only undefeated 2A team left in the entire state. So congratulations to the volleyball team. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. They have some tough competition coming up this week, and we'll get into that a little more in the third section. But
it should be a great tournament coming up this week to get them ready for the state tournament.
We have one week left to go in the regular season, as on our football team, they kind of worked over.
Right. And then in volleyball, too, they were ranked number 2, and we should see some movements in the rankings, though, according to what happened. And but 2's not a terrible spot to be in. You get put in that bottom part of the bracket, but you're ahead of the bottom bracket. So it's kind of a great spot to be. The football team, I did notice that in the after they walloped Olathe Pirates 46-0. We were walloped. We mercy ruled the team, which means we scored 40 points over them. With just 7 minutes left in the second quarter, so before we even went to halftime. Everybody got a chance to play, every single kid. There's 45 kids, 47 kids, so that's amazing and awesome to see some of those kids getting in and getting some time on the field. Lots of Cowboys with rushing yards, but the biggest run of the week was Liam Deming, 93-yard run, scored a touchdown. He led the team in rushing with 95 total yards for the week. Kelton Turner had 79. Clay Crawford had 61, and then our center, Zach Simonson, had 62.
Right. So
Yeah.
maybe explain that as well as who all scored, because
Yeah.
several different players.
Yeah, actually quite a
Big
few of
runs.
them. Liam, of course, Porter Haase, Clay Crawford, Kelton Turner had 2, Elijah LeBlanc, and then Zach Simonson. They actually...
Who's our center.
They, according to one of the kids that I talked to after the game, they had kind of been practicing it a little bit this week. So they brought Tegan Sheridan in to snap the ball real quick, and then that Zach did a little bit, workout there and scored a
Yeah, he
touchdown. And
did
it was a
have a
big
couple
run. It was a
moves.
62-yard run.
Yeah.
That was amazing for
And
him.
he had to make a couple jukes there.
Yeah.
And, out sprint a guy, and yeah, it was good watching for
It
sure.
was, yeah.
A lot of fun there, and so they have 1 week left in the regular season, correct? And so we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we will talk with Coach Kendall and have her tell us about her team state tournament experience as well as the season. And Coach Casey will give us the results from the state qualifying regional meet in Delta. So please come back. All right, we are back. Thank you. Tiffany, if you go ahead, we're here with Coach Kendall, who will tell us a bit about their softball season as well as their state tournament experience. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Yeah, and I think before we talk about the state tournament, let's actually talk about the regional tournament, because that's what actually was the road to state. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, first off, I just want to congratulate the volleyball and football team. That's so exciting. League champions all around. I just want to, shout out to those coaches and the players. That's very exciting. Great work for everybody. That's awesome.
Good.
So regionals last week in Greeley, we got to hosted by University. It was a tough week of practice here in Meeker. We had quite some weather. We had to practice indoors a few times, which is tough. So then I tried to surprise them. I'm the worst at keeping secrets, but we ended up practicing at my old high school at D'Evelyn. So that was pretty fun. We got out on the field and just got to be on the field after practicing so much indoors. So I think I enjoyed it a little more than the girls did, but I thought it was a really cool experience. And my old coach was there, and he got to cheer us on and only had the greatest thing to say about my girls, and he only just saw them. So he was saying they all had great swings. So it was a really good pep talk right before.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got Faith Christian right off the bat, and we needed to win that first game to become a state qualifier. So Faith Christian put 2 runs up right in the first inning. But, I mean, nobody got discouraged, not a lack of energy at all. They didn't even phase them. When we got time to bat, we just put it to them and won 15-2 after all. So it was very exciting, a real dominating win, and just quite the morale boost, that's for sure.
Oh, good.
So even getting to regionals was a big deal, but then winning that first game was awesome. Such a great experience. So, and then we got to play University in the second game just to see who won the regional. University ended up winning that, and University ended up placing second at state. So, I mean, a really tough game, tough team for sure. So, so
And
it was
they
awesome.
play second to who?
To Lutheran.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So then you got to go to state. And so you went to the Aurora Sports Complex, and it was the first time the girls had been at state since 2018.
Right. So it was really cool. I was looking at a picture, I think one of the girls posted on Facebook, or one of their moms. It was when they were little freshmen, Macy and Haley and Michaela, and the same jerseys we're wearing now. So it was kind of funny. They made it to state their freshman year and then got to go again their senior year. So it was really cool to come full circle. And, we were so happy to make it to regionals, but then to win that game, and so happy to make it to state. I mean, what a huge accomplishment. I mean, only 16 teams can say that they ended their season at state. Just so proud of these girls and the coaching staff, Eric Brown, Tom Knowles, Crandall Mergelman, Ann Baker. I mean, they were all so great and so supportive, and the girls are so lucky to have all those helpers for sure. And then we're so lucky to have such a great group of gals, that's for sure. So,
Yeah.
And so you have a great group of gals. You're going to graduate. Maybe tell us who your seniors are that you're graduating, and kind of what you have coming back.
Yep. Oh, Yeah, sorry. Should I jump to Sterling really quick? Or
Yeah.
just like-
Oh,
okay. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Sterling. You had Haley Knowles pitch for you, and
Yes.
I think earlier we were talking about that she had 70 innings.
Yep, she had 70 innings pitched. I
But
think
the
she.
Sterling pitcher,
Yeah, so that was crazy. They really relied on one pitcher. She had over 200 innings. No,
150.
no, thank you. Good job. 150, sorry. 150 innings with over 200 strikeouts. I mean, really relied on her. Her ERA is 1.4. She had, only 23 walks the whole season with all those innings. I mean,
Wow.
very impressive. And she, did what she did, what she'd been doing all season. And I mean, we fought hard. Our swings were looking good. I mean, but when we put the ball in play and had some decent hits, their defense stepped up. So, I mean, just an all around great team. They ended up beating Cortez right after us and then made it to the Final Four, only to lose to Lutheran, who ended up winning the whole thing. So a pretty tough draw, a tough team. They have, 3 gals hitting over 500, and those 3 gals did some damage against us for sure. Hit quite a few doubles between the 3 of them. So just a good all-around team. Good competition for us to see. Definitely helped us gain some experience that we needed at that level. I mean, it's tough to put everything together right then and there, right on the spot, but I think it was great experience, and still just so proud of the girls for
Good
sure.
for getting
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's tough to lose that way at state. However, these girls now have 2 extra weeks of practice.
Yeah.
Other that they wouldn't have otherwise seen. So that's amazing, especially for the juniors and sophomores and freshmen.
Right.
Now they have 2 more weeks under their belt, and that's really why a lot of our teams are successful, because they have more practice than everybody else.
Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, and I was so happy, like, yes, we're not done yet. Let's keep going and
Yeah.
keep going. And the girls just, I mean, it's a grind for sure. Every day, day in and day out. Most, half of our girls are traveling to practice. And I mean, just shows the dedication that they all have, and just very impressive.
Yeah,
So proud
and
of them.
Do you have some stats to recap for the year? And, can we wrap up the seniors now and talk a little bit about them? Yeah.
Yeah, so just great all around. I mean, Haley Knowles did great pitching. Bree Garcia got tons of great pitching in this year. Reagan Hafey was able to pitch some too. She came from Craig, first year for her. She's a junior though, so I'm glad we got one more year with her. Great pitching for them. Hitting too. I mean, just it's amazing how we went through the season. The whole hitting lineup started just clicking all together. I mean, it was a lot of team wins, which is really great. Reagan Hafey ended up just barely under 500 for her hit batting average. Led the team.
Oh, good.
Led the team in doubles too. Michaela Willie, Haley Knowles, and Vivian Brown were right around 350. I mean, it seemed like they were always on base, which is so exciting, getting clutch hits. I mean, our 2-out rally was amazing. I mean, every single game, that's when we score our most runs and had the RBI hits, and talk about just coming in clutch. And I could talk, I mean, Kasten Dembowski was our leadoff hitter throughout the whole season, and just deadly when she gets on base. I mean, just steals every base, and next thing you know, she's on base and then gone, scored. So, and then Dylan Herndon from Craig played pretty much every game, was solid out in right field, and just the whole lineup across the board. So with Macy Ridgway and Haley Knowles and Michaela Willie pretty much leading the way leadership wise, and their stats are all very good, and just the positivity they brought every day in and day out. I mean, so impressive. They led this team, and such great, girls to look up to for those underclassmen. So
Yeah.
Good.
Well, congratulations on the season.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's really exciting to look for. I mean, it's tough because the season was so great, but we do have, I'm hoping a lot of good years coming our way for sure. We've got 3 juniors right now, and then 5 sophomores, so we're a young team, and 4 freshmen. We've got some great skills, some great talent in that younger group, so it's exciting for sure.
Yes, and congratulations again, and thank you. We mentioned a lot that a lot of our coaches are not employed by the school district and donate their time, and not so much donate, but a lot of it is donation and that, but appreciate it and stepping in there and helping out and taking our team to state and giving them that experience. It's something that they'll remember forever. So
I
Yeah.
definitely
That's a
will.
cool deal.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you, girls. You took me to state, so thank you.
Good deal.
No, it's great, and I'm glad it's not done yet. I still get to see them. Wednesday's our banquet, so I can't wait to just talk them up even more. And man, I'm already going to start crying. It's it's great. It's just hard to close that chapter for sure on just such a great season.
Yep.
Well, good.
Well, thank you for coming
Thanks
in.
again.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
All right. When we come back, we will be talking about
Cross country and Marty
cross
Casey.
country and Marty Casey. We'll be right back. Thank you. All right, we are back, and we're joined here with Coach Casey. We'll have him tell us about the state qualifying regional meet in Delta, who ran and who qualified for the state meet. Coach, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, we had our entire squad down at regionals. 2 girls, 6 of the boys. The regional, of course, is 16 teams, essentially Western Slope kind of stuff. I'm not going to try to rattle them off because I'm sure I'd miss I'd miss somebody in there. But the regional meet, certainly, since it's such a spread out region, we definitely run into some teams that we haven't competed with all.
Oh wow! Okay.
Just the schedules don't happen to work out, and you just don't see those teams. So always can be a little bit of a surprise there. As far as exactly how it turns out. But yeah, girls ran first. Brighton Bear, junior this year. She's been running well all season. 8th place finish. Top 15 go to state, so she earned her.
She's a qualifier.
Yeah, she earned her trip to state.
All right.
In the boys race, a little bit close actually. Gabe Richardson, senior this year, actually had a really good race. Had I think his personal record, his career best race by 30 seconds or something.
Oh wow!
I mean, really, yeah, he was down into the mid 18s, but still 19th.
Okay.
So yeah, still out
Just
of
right out of the
few places, a few finished places, and I don't know, 10, 12 seconds, something like that, out of state qualifying. And the boys team entirely was I think about 20-ish points out of a state qualifying team. In cross country, it's your team score is your individual finished places added together.
Okay.
Is pretty simple as far as how they do the team scoring. So and it's it's a little hard to say if everybody could add a couple of places kind of thing, but yeah, you could say that for every other team too. So
Sure.
It's
And the boys they were 7th as a team.
7th as a team.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
Actually,
right.
I do have to mention though, our second finisher this week, Wyatt Rollins, a freshman this year, just turned it on like crazy. I want to say he did his best time of the season by like a minute 40 or something like that.
Oh my word!
I mean, really
Peaked at
really. Oh yeah, I mean he was like 1909, something like that, just over 19. And yeah, I mean his previous best was in the 20s. So.
Well, good for him, and
Yeah.
he'll be coming back next
Oh
year,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can really do. That's quite the way to finish out your.
And who
Freshman
were your
year.
seniors or?
So Gabe Richardson
Right.
and Owen Hanneman.
Okay,
Our seniors
all
this
right. So the rest will be coming back, and this is the first time qualifying for Brighton.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. She would have she finished well enough last year that in a normal times year would have
non-COVID
qualified. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to say she was 14th last year.
Oh wow!
But since they had some COVID protocols in place, certainly you're bringing people from all over the state into one spot. So even though it's an outdoor thing, they're a bit
Limited,
crammed
the
in there
number.
at the start. So so they only did top 5 last year. But yeah, so I kind of knew she was already kind of ready to go. So it's great to see her really kind of kick it in, work hard. Yeah.
Yes. Well, good for her. Congrats. Now the state tournament's in Colorado Springs.
It is. It's at the Norris Penrose Event Center. It's actually like an equestrian center.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's got some nice rolling terrain, couple of decent hills, like a real cross country course. They do have that creek crossing kind of right near the finish, up a couple of hills, and then you finish into their arena.
In the arena, correct? Yeah, it's way
so
cool.
The finish line in there, yeah, I've got everybody cheering. It's an event. It really is.
Good luck to her and you
Yeah.
for this coming weekend in Colorado Springs. Wish you luck, and again, thanks for your time and this season is a good season. So now it's done.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll do a little after this week. Sometime next week we'll do some little end of season thing. Anyways, try to do something fun. We don't quite do the
Go
banquet.
for a little run.
Well, generally, so it's kind of the thing we usually end up doing is over at Paintbrush Park they have that their whole little playground area. So last year. I don't let them do this during the season because we don't need any
Injuries.
unnecessary injuries. But we go and play some tag on the no grounds
Obstacle
tag on
course.
the
Okay.
on the whole
fun.
thing and I shouldn't get in on that anymore, but I did last year and I felt it for like the next week. I was pretty broken. It's just I'm like, but it's so hard to not get out there.
Right. Well, again, thanks for getting involved and helping out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I just kind of want to echo earlier comments. Congratulations to the rest of the teams.
good.
The
Yes.
softball, football, volleyball, all doing really well this year as well. And great job, everybody. Go Cowboys.
Yes, and we've all the teams have qualified. Well, even the volleyball and football, but all the teams have qualified for state, and or someone qualified for state. Yeah. So that's good, and getting the exposure and showing that we can compete with everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Good
Marty,
luck,
for coming
and
in.
good luck to Brighton.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll be right back to wrap up, kind of tell where we're going to be competing this week, and come back, and Tiffany will also have our Student Athlete of the Week. Thank you very much. Be right back. All right, we're back here, and we're going to have Tiffany tell us where our teams are playing and what time and where we're at. What's coming up, Tiffany?
Yeah, so there's only 2 teams and 1 cross-country runner remaining left in the fall season.
Okay.
So volleyball is actually headed to a really cool tournament this weekend down in Buena Vista. It's an 8-team tournament. So 2 pools of 4 teams each, and they'll play a round robin. And at the very end, whoever wins each pool will play each other to determine who is the final champion of the tournament. So it's really a great tournament for the girls. There's a lot of 3A and 4A teams.
Do we know the teams?
We
in
don't
the
know
pool?
all of them. I do remember that Coach Craven said that Grand Valley's there, of course, Buena Vista, Centauri, Meeker. So a lot of teams that the girls haven't seen.
Well, good.
So that'll be really great for them. And that tournament is on Saturday.
Okay. And our football is also taking a road trip.
A big road trip down to Center. Yep. Center is an interesting team. They've had some big wins, and then according to Coach Phelan, they've had some lopsided losses. So, they kind of have an interesting league down there. I think that Centauri's in their league. So it's interesting. They had a loss last week where they played their big rival team, Monte Vista. So they're coming off of that loss and probably really looking for a win. I think the whole team gets to travel. So this will be the first varsity game that the entire team gets to travel. As long as we can, it's so far they have to take 4 bus drivers, so they're really looking for 4 bus drivers because it's like over 5 hours, so they can't have one driver drive that many hours in a day. So I think that they haven't officially sealed that yet.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So if you're bus drivers, Get a hold of Coach.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then also something interesting about Center is they're a passing team. Their quarterback is stellar. And this will be our first real passing team that Meeker sees this year.
Okay. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Good luck to the Cowboys, and good luck to Brighton at the state
Yeah, for
tournament.
sure.
So state cross country meet. So also your champ of the week. Have you
Oh, yes. Actually, I am choosing
student athlete of the week?
Student athlete of the week, yes. And I think we're going with Liam Deming. He had a stellar run over the weekend. Liam Deming, and we should choose the offensive line. He couldn't have done it without those guys. But Liam ran 93 yards. So what happened was Olathe kicked it. They punted it, and it went down to like the 7-yard line. Meeker then took possession of the ball, and on our very first play, Liam ran at 93 yards for a touchdown. It was awesome.
It was a good run.
Yeah, he's fast, and it was really cool to watch.
Yeah, I was taking pictures and watching the clock, and I think it was like 7 seconds for the 93 yards that came off the clock. So
Yeah.
you might have a record there in the 93-yard sprint. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so that's the champ there.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for listening this week,
Yes.
Monday.
And we will upload this later today onto the Real Blanco Herald Times Facebook page and share it from there. Thanks again to everyone involved. Thanks, Lucas, for coming in. Take care. Have a good week.
Yep.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.